Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much, and I invite you to click the subscribe button so you'll see more content from me. I tend to post videos every Monday and Thursday. Now today's video, I'm really excited about. It actually is something spur of the moment that I'm deciding to try and do. So quick backstory and then we'll jump into it. So where I live, the closest McDonald's, when you go through the drive-thru, there is this amazing woman in that drive-thru that makes my day. She is so sweet. I think she's so smart because she says, "See you tomorrow," every time you go by there. And you're like, you know what? Maybe I will come back and see you tomorrow. So I do believe her name is Frida. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It's F-R-E-D-A. I think that's correct. But on our local mom's Facebook group, someone made a post about her and said that tomorrow is her birthday. And she just loves the woman and wanted to spread the word and hopefully get a bunch of people to go by there and, wish her a happy birthday, because she found out that she does have to work on her birthday, which is tomorrow. So anyway, I was so excited to see that post because I myself have thought this woman needs recognition. She is amazing. She is always cheerful. She is always kind. There's maybe been one minute moment, like tiny moment, where I thought she could have been having a bad day when I went through. But every other time, she is just perky and happy, and she is just the sweetest woman. And come to find out from this Facebook post, everyone else agrees. So obviously she's not picking and choosing who she's nice with. She's nice to that to everyone, and everyone loves her. And it was just the sweetest little thing to see on my local community Facebook page. So then I was sitting there thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Because I want to give her something. I don't want to just say happy birthday. I want to try to give her something. I mean, I'm not talking about, anything crazy, but, make her a card, maybe give her a little gift or something if I can find something I think she might like. And I saw this sitting there, and I bought this a while back. I think I got it on sale or something. I can't even remember. But it's this happy birthday set from Tim Holtz, and it comes with like the die cut so you can cut it out. So if you look back here, let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit for you. So here you can see how they made a cute little card out of it. Now mine probably won't be that fancy, but I just wanted to see what I could do. Now my son is with me today, he's awake, and I was talking to him about it. So he's for sure probably going to be in here while I'm working on this. So I just wanted to do a quick introduction, let you know what I'm going to be trying to use. I'll be pulling out different, I'll have to get my my other cutter. Oh, what's it called? I just lost the name of it. The bug? What? Cuddlebug? Is that what it's called? Anyway, I can't even remember the name of it. So I'll have to get that out. I'll be scrounging around. I don't have any of my materials ready or anything to work on this. But I just really wanted to give it a try. So I'll probably stamp this. I'll probably use Tombow markers to color it in. I'll do the cutouts. I'll figure out what I'm going to layer it on. And anyway, I just thought it was a good reason to break this out and finally use it, because I haven't yet. So I will record this for you guys. I will probably come back and do a bit of a voiceover at times, perhaps, to help explain things, or at least pop up some words to try to help explain what I'm using. But I just wanted to do this for her because she is the sweetest lady, and it's also a reason for me to use what I've got, use my tools, and come up with something hopefully that she'll find pretty special. So with all that said, let's get to it, and happy birthday, Frida. Alright guys, so now I'm doing a voiceover, and I feel like I haven't done this in forever, so I just don't even know what to talk about. But okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and if I feel like I get to a point that I need to pause, I will. So this is just Art C brand stamp, and that acrylic block I've had forever from Martha Stewart. I love it because it's a pretty good size. So I just put the stamp on there, put it on the paint, and this is just normal copy paper. Wait a minute, is it copy paper? I'm pretty sure this was just copy paper. Yeah, I don't think, well, sorry. No, it's square. So I picked, it's cardstock. It's white cardstock, like the 12 by 12 piece of paper that you would use. So anyway, I went ahead and did 4 of them because I thought while I'm stamping I might as well stamp them all out, and I might use them for future projects. So I thought they all came out actually really well. I'm always nervous when I stamp because I feel like it's just not going to work out. So anyway, I thought they all came out really well. And this is the little stamp scrubber pad thing that I use to clean off my stamps. I've showed that before, and I might link it. I think I have a video, so I might link it for you if you're interested. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the happy birthday little tag as well. I kind of forgot about it. And then I came back to do it here, so I'm going to go ahead and do 4 of those here on the bottom. And those did not come out perfect, but close enough. And cleaning my things off. I'm trying to be good about going ahead and clean things off pretty quickly. So now what do I do? Okay, so then I think I was going to go ahead and trim these down. Obviously I only need one for my card. And this is I love this cutting tool. If you guys don't have one, if you're in the market for one, get this sucker. I had an old like paper trimmer for like from ages ago, years ago. And I mean, it wasn't something I even thought about like buying a new one of, but I finally have started cutting enough that I was like, you know what, I need a better one. And this thing is amazing. I love it. And I've had pictures printed, like even like at Staples or something, and I've had to bring them home and cut them myself, and it's wonderful for that kind of thing. So I highly recommend that, and I'll link it down below if you're interested. So now I'm going to work on the die cutting part of this. So this is the Cuddlebug. I think I'm saying that right, Cuddlebug. And I will link it as well if I can. I'm sure there's something, there's probably even, I don't even know, but there's probably a gazillion options of this sort of machine. It's like an embossing machine. Embossing, is that the right term? Where it like pokes up the paper, like put the patterns on paper. So it's one of those, but it can also do the die cutting. I got it from a friend. She just didn't use it anymore, so she let me have it, which I love. And so I have to use the B plate, what is it, the A plate, the B plate, and the C plate to do cutting. And I kind of have been figuring this out for myself, so that's why you see me going back and forth, because I'm like, wait a minute, I stuck it in there and it wasn't thick enough. It has to have enough pressure to actually cut, so I knew it wasn't thick enough. So here I am just realigning. I'm trying to cut out the party banner separate from the actual like birthday hat. And by the way, those little lines that you see on the left hand side and like the little arrow and stuff, that's just directional, kind of telling you what to do. So those things won't be part of the picture once you're done cutting all these pieces out, as you can see from this one as well. So then this cutter will cut out the rest of the hat. And of course, as you can tell, it won't have all those little lines on the left hand side. It's kind of just, I think some guidelines or measurements there telling you what to do. Getting this lined up, by the way, with the little plates was a little bit tricky, but just took some time and it worked. And one roll through works really well. And I'm sorry that some of this is off camera, but you just pop it right out and it worked well. So I was pleased. So I put that away, and now I've got my little pieces there. Oh, and I don't know if I do it right now, but then I realized I should have cut out that happy birthday. Yeah, I am going to do it right now. So I was like, oh, I should have cut that out. So I think I'm going to get the Cuddlebug out again and go ahead and do that. So here we are again with the Cuddlebug, and I get my plates, get it all lined up. And I don't really have any tricks or tips for you guys here. I haven't used the actual cutting aspect of this very often. I will say that it really cut into that plate, that you can kind of see the impression of the party hat. So I don't know if it's like not strong enough for these cutters, because these are like the Tim Holtz brand, and he does have his own like cutting machine, I think. So I don't know, but I mean, it worked and I liked it, so I'm happy. But my only advice is to take your time, get it lined up, don't get frustrated, just, you know, enjoy the process. So this is the Sahara Rose pack of paper that I picked up. I have had a couple moments of, oh, that's a pretty pack of paper, let's grab it because it's on sale kind of thing. So this one I just picked up and wanted to look through. As you can see, these papers are gorgeous, and I'm just kind of holding that hat down there to figure out which one do I like. And I had a really hard time like choosing. I saw that and was like, well, that's kind of cool because it's already in a shape of a card, sort of, and I could just put this on there and it might work. And that is what I ended up doing, going with. So But now I think I'm looking for like a coordinating paper to go with it. So much pretty paper, so many choices. And clearly this is very sped up, so you can see how much time I might have actually spent looking for paper. It was a long time. All right, back to the cutter. I love this thing, very quick and easy to cut. So got that cut out. And still looking. Oh, I had saw these little things that say "You are beautiful," and I was like, that would be pretty just to help put on the inside of the card. And this other one, "Kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit." And at this point, I can't remember which one I ended up using, but you guys will see if you stick around to the end. We will both be reminded together. Okay, now that's coming, that background sheet of paper that you just saw. This is a separate paper pack. And I'm sorry, I don't have specifics. I go to Hobby Lobby, I go to Michael's, I've been to Joann's, but usually it's Hobby Lobby and Michael's that I pick up paper from, paper pads from. So it could have been either of those two stores. And here I'm just looking at coordinating. I don't even know if she likes pink, you know. I'm just going with what I had available to me. And I wanted to do something a little more contrasty. Sometimes I think I just play it safe, but I really did want to do something a little more contrasty, but the patterns were just so bold against the light pink. I just wasn't sure about it. So I don't know, something that I always struggle with when I'm working on cards. And I guess I need to get better with my like color theory and like, you know, colors that look good together. All right, so now I'm working on, I wanted to give it a little border. So this is basically going to be the base of the card. And as you can see here, I am not very scientific about the way I cut out my cards. I basically just line things up and add a little buffer to them to give them the amount of space I need. So I'm still getting to the point where I know the exact dimensions for the types of cards I like. You know, typically you could do your 4x6 size or like a 5x7 card, those sorts of things. But I was just going with, because I had picked that card and it was a specific size in that paper pack, I was just going with what looked good to kind of give it a little border around it. So the size of this card may not have been real, you know, typical, but that's okay. So I'm trying to remember what I'm doing here. I do not know what I'm doing here. Oh, that's right. Okay. I didn't like it just on the pink, and so I wanted to get a piece of paper to put along the back and do like some sorry, I just completely lost my words, but use some of this stamping, this distressed ink to kind of give it an edge. And I thought I would do green. I mean, I got all my, those are the colors I have. I only have those 4 that you see there. But when I saw the green, I was like, I think that'll work. But I think I still tested it with some of the others. And I'm sorry, that's off camera a little bit, but I was just using a little test sheet of paper and then holding it up to see what I thought. And you can see there, I looked at the other pieces of paper to kind of see what colors they had in them to try to get some help. But I think ultimately I went with green. Cracked pistachio, to be specific, and that's Tim Holtz distressed inks. So here I'm just using a dauber and brushing it on, and you know, I started to like dab it, but actually like rubbing it kind of gave me the look I was kind of going for. So I just kind of did a little bit of both. And I'm only worrying about the edges because the center part of this paper is going to be covered up. So that's all I'm focused on, is making sure the edges are completely covered to my satisfaction. And sorry about the lighting, zooming in and out, and who knows what happened with my camera there. It kind of got a little crazy. Okay, so this is another fun thing. So now I'm pulling out my Tombows and I'm just picking them up, and as you can see, scratching them on this scratch piece of paper to see which ones match. And I hope I lined them up for you guys so you could kind of see the numbers here in a minute. There we go. So N65, N95, what was that, 741 and 296, I think, for the pink and the green. But that, you know, like I said, that's just a good way to do it. Set it beside your stuff and then swatch it out to see what looks best. And so obviously I'm getting all my pieces together before I'm actually assembling the card. So here I'm working on the inside of the card now. And I think I messed up my cuts when I worked on this one, so I'm going back and like doing some smaller little fixes to it. I'm trying to make it all just like barely smaller than the page I'm putting it on, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that one, just so I think I wanted to just have a white background for the inside of the card. And I think I'm going to do a similar thing with that one, and that's why I was making a matte. Yep, so I'm going to matte, do a little quick matte with the distressed ink for that little piece as well, for the sentiment that I plan on putting inside the card. Oh, that looks cute. I'm excited. I think I was excited at that moment when I was actually filming this as well. It was a lot of fun, by the way. Clearly it took some time, but it was worth it, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so here I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I knew I was going to use the Tombow markers, but I also kind of wanted to do watercolor. Now I'm not using watercolor paper here. This is just cardstock. So I'm using this plastic packaging from something else, and I'm scribbling the card or the Tombow markers on there, which you can then use with a paintbrush to kind of act as watercolor. And so that's what you see here. And I really just kind of put it on here. It wasn't perfect because the that black stamp I don't think is really, I can't remember the term, but there's certain stamps that you can use that won't react with water, and I'm afraid that it did react with the water, so it wasn't perfect. It would be better to use a different type of stamp. And then also the paper not being like watercolor paper kind of soaked in more than I wanted it to. So sorry, I'm just cleaning off the desk obviously at this point, but it would be ideal to actually try to use a watercolor paper, would be a better thing. So, and here I'm just going straight with the markers to color in the banner and the happy birthday sign. And those colors I think I liked a little better, so I went back over this with some that wasn't using the water. And I don't think you can see very well, now you can, but I don't think you could see very well where I watercolored that. And at some point, I'm pretty sure I switched the camera and you might can see it better, but don't quote me on that. You'll just have to stick around and see. Okay, so I had recently been on vacation and I was looking for more markers, which were in this tote bag. I was looking for my blender markers. So I'm going to try to blend that out a little bit. It kind of got crazy when I used the marker just by itself. And I think that's actually what kind of helped, what blended the actual stamping a little bit. So anyway, I got a little bit disappointed with how that turned out, but it in the end it looked okay. So now I'm going through with a gel white pen. I think it's the Signo. I couldn't really tell which one I was using, but just adding a little bit of detail there. So at this point, I think I forgot to film, or I lost my battery, but I went ahead and used that Tombow adhesive roller and put on the base of my card. And now I'm looking at how to lay out the hat and the banner and the happy birthday sign. I still wasn't pleased with just putting it on white. So I'm going to fill in that oval with some black or gray, it might be like a dark gray, Tombow, and I'm using that watercolor effect again. And I actually really liked how this turned out, but I did have to wait, of course, to let it dry. And I was just real careful to not go out the edges. But yeah, watercolor paper would be a little better. I didn't think the word party was showing up very well after coloring it in, so I just used a marker to write over top of that. Okay, now that this is dry, I used my adhesive roller to put that down, and then I used these mini foam stamps, or like stickers, foam stickers, to help the banner part be raised up a little bit, which I thought looked really cute. And I think I used the same thing, yeah, on the actual happy birthday sign as well, just to give it something, you know, a little extra. And more markers. Just trying to add a little extra stuff into it. Yeah, I went ahead and decided to outline everything. This is actually using a Papermate Flair black marker. And now, oh, okay, I thought that was already adhered, but it, oh no, sorry, ignore me, I don't know what I'm talking about. So now I'm putting that onto the card itself. Oh, and there you are with the inside. I had obviously put that together off camera and you didn't get to see it. So I went with the "You Are Beautiful" sentiment on the inside. Oh, and then I wanted to use something for the back. So the handmade that you see there was from, oh, the name is completely escaping me, but it's an Etsy shop, and I will link it down below if I can. But it was like a little bit of ephemera, and that was just one of the pieces that was in it. And then this is from Allie Brown. I'm a Patreon of hers, and that the watercolor florals that you see there was from her printable. And so she kind of lets you print out these journaling cards, and I had already printed them on some sticker paper and had them ready to go, and so I just stuck that on there as my little sign, like handmade by me. By me to you. Oh, okay, so here I know what I'm doing, and you're not going to get to see this, but I was like, do I want to make an envelope? And that's what I ended up doing. So I used this paper right here. So I did get my bold paper in there after all. And I basically used the guideline of this envelope as the guide of how to make an envelope. And then I essentially made an envelope for it. So I was pleased with how that turned out, but I'm sorry that you guys will miss out. I'm pretty sure my camera completely died on me, but I had to finish it up and actually give it to her. Her birthday, this was several weeks back when I filmed this, but her birthday was the very next day, so I couldn't wait for my camera to come back around. I've got to get a new spare battery. I've got to. So anyway, that's all I was doing here, is kind of working out how to make an envelope. Again, with my whole figure it out as I go process, it's not very efficient. I need to work on that and figure out like more consistent ways to make these things. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful week. Bye.